This is the story of Olamma, a young beautiful girl who rejected her suitors because of pride. She believed that her beauty will fetch her greatness. She later got married to an evil spirit in the form of a prince. That was when she realized the folly of her arrogance. Once upon a time, in a remote African village, there lived a very young girl called Olamma. She was very beautiful that anybody cannot walk past her without turning back. Her beauty was undeniable, with all the feminine features at the right proportions. Each passing day, her ego swelled, and she began to feel that she was the most beautiful in the village, looking down on her friends as they were not worthy of her attention. Her father, Ichie Onochie, was a very respected personality in their village and a member of the Igwe's cabinet. Suitors have been coming for Olamma's hand in marriage, but she and her mother will always treat them without any regards. One of them was Ejiofor, a young handsome carpenter who was doing very well for himself. Some young girls of marriageable age will at times give him fruits and other edibles, seeking for his love and attention. Ejiofor had always wanted Olamma for marriage, so one day he went with his kinsmen to the house of Ichie Onochie to seek for Olamma's hand in marriage, carrying a keg of palm wine and 2 pieces of kola nuts, as the tradition demands. On getting to their house, Ichie Onochie gave them a warm welcome as they made their intentions known to him. "Are you not that low-life carpenter that works at the village square?" Olamma asked her suitor with pride written all over her face. She poured him a bucket filled with dirty water, telling him to go and marry a girl of his status, that she cannot marry a leech like him. Other young men who came to marry Olamma were painfully disgraced. Some of them were chased away with a cutlass. Olamma would always claim that she is too beautiful to marry just an ordinary man, that it is only kings that were qualified to seek for her hand in marriage. The spirit guardian of the evil forest in their village developed interest in Olamma. This spirit was in the form of a snake, and in its quest to marry Olamma, it visited many kingdoms in the underworld, asking the spirit guardian of each kingdom to accompany him to the house of Ichie Onochie to search for Olamma's hand in marriage. Many of them agreed to his plea, but there was an obstacle. They do not have hands and feet, which means they are invisible to the human eye. In order to achieve their aim, they borrowed human parts from their fellow spirits who possessed human features. They borrowed hairs and every other human parts and turned into a feeble human. There in the house of Ichie Onochie, the snake spirit introduced himself as Prince Ejike from Inuago Kingdom, and the others who accompanied him as his kinsmen. They made their intentions known to Ichie Onochie, after which Olamma was called to greet her suitors. "Good day, my prince," Olamma greeted. Her heart was filled with joy and her face showed a clear sign of acceptance because Prince Ejike was her dream man, a man with royal blood and destiny. The traditional marriage between Olamma and Prince Ejike was fixed after a short while. Olamma bragged about the village, telling people about her marriage with the prince of Enuago Kingdom, not knowing that her vainglory is dragging her to danger. It was on a Saturday evening when the sun was making way for the night. Olamma was given a glass of palm wine to give to Prince Ejike, a symbol of their union, after which her father blessed them as regards to the Igbo tradition, and the two became husband and wife. After all said and done, Olamma went home with her new husband into the evil forest. At a point, she became confused and asked, "Why are we here in this evil forest?" None of them answered her. The other spirit that pretended to be the prince's kinsmen went back to their kingdoms and returned their borrowed body parts to their owners. Prince Ejike, on the other hand, turned back into the snake that he was, revealing his true identity. Fear and terror gripped her soul. She wandered round the evil forest, crying in anguish. Memories of her ill treatment towards her suitors came flashing like an electric current. She cried and wailed, rolling herself on the ground and shouting for help, but help was nowhere to be found. After 4 market days, she found her way out of the forest and ran back home like someone who was being chased by a swarm of bees. She narrated her horrible experience to her parents in pain, wishing she could turn back the hands of time. Whispers began to circulate around the village about the cursed fate of Olamma, and parents warned their daughters not to be like her. She went to seek for forgiveness from the men who she had wronged, but it was too late because they already found happiness in the hands of another woman. As years went by, she began to lose her beauty. Her once luminous skin began to fade. Olamma squandered her youth in pursuit of vanity. The curse of her arrogance has finally caught up with her, and she realized the folly of her pride.